Right, g'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. First vid up for 2023, the new year. I hope everyone did have a good new year and a good Christmas, and I hope you were smiled upon by those around you and you got all the gun stuff you wanted. So let's fire this one up. I've got in front of me my old Howard 308, real shooter. I want to start playing with thermal with this one. I have like a decent size thermal rifle, and this one's, I like this one because you can carry it around, it won't hurt you and everything. So I want to put a thermal scope on it, but also use it as a normal sort of day rifle, normal rifle, whatever. So I'm going to fit a set of these steel CCOP quick release rings, and I'm going to fit also a new trigger spring kit. Like get it down to about 2.5 pound. I have got one of these Gun Bloke trigger spring kits. Now there's 2 springs and an E-clip in that little thing. So we've got to be careful we don't lose any of that. That all comes via mail order, and we're going to do that as a separate video. Okay. First time I've ever done anything like that. So, and in order to make that more thermal friendly, see, I'll push this out of the way without knocking it off the table. What else did Santa bring me? He was good. Ta-da! Oryx chassis, MDT Oryx chassis. This one they make it for all sorts of things. This one is obviously for the Howard short action. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the vid, and we'll do a very quick little unboxing video. And when I say quick, I mean quick. Right, we're back. We're ready to go to have a quick look at the MDT Oryx chassis. These are all aluminium construction. They've but with a few little plastic grips and decorative bits and pieces here and there. Basically, you get the chassis practicality, the chassis look and feel without the usual chassis price tag. These are the most budget-friendly chassis on the market, and they sell like hotcakes. So there we go. I got this one from Cleavers over at Redcliffe, but most of the good gun shops sell. So we'll open the box. Now they come boxed up like this. Now, one little thing they don't tell you, that they market that you can just drop your action straight into these things and tighten them up the way you go. Not 100% true. For example, your standard Howard internal floor plate magazine doesn't fit these things. Simple as that. So you've got to buy a detachable magazine. Bought a 10-shot MDT one. That was about $45-ish. And I bought a little Magpul M-Lock bipod mount. You can mount bipods, swivels, anything you can think of. That was about $45 as well. So these things retail for, at Cleavers, I think they're about $5.35. Shop around, that might be a bit more here and there. All told, I think I walked out spending about $620 all told. So there we go. So right in the box you get a little sticker and the chassis. Let's pull him out of the bag and see what's in here. There's a few other little bits and pieces in here, which is always good. This thing out of here. Here it comes. Here it comes. Everything's all tied together, so you can't lose it. That's not a bad thing actually. Boot the box. That up. Now we've got action screws. Action screws, very important. And this is the tag on the stock that tells you what it is. This is the Howard 1500 short action. Now these things are made for all different rifle types. You get 3 Howard actions: short, mini, and long action. They make them for Remingtons, they make them for CZs, and they even make them like Thompson Center Compass, all that sort of thing. They also, believe it or not, make them for Mossberg. If you hunt around, you can get them for a Mossberg. So there we go. We've got as I said, our action screws, and we've got some instructions. Pretty clear, concise instructions. Looks like there's about 4 or 5 steps to this, and it's pretty easy. And there's a couple of good YouTube videos on these things too. One thing these things have got also is an adjustable cheek riser. You can appropriate size Allen key. I don't think that comes with it. No, appropriate size Allen key. You open the bolts, open those little screws up, and lift the cheek riser up, and that way you can lift your head up, so if you've got a higher scope mount. So got a nice recoil pad. You can also buy separate spacer kit for these things. I think from memory they're about $45. Very hard to get, can't find them in Australia at the moment. That's if you're like a bigger, taller person and you need like longer length of pull. You can put spacers in there just to lengthen the stock a bit. And you can also buy aftermarket knobs for the cheek risers, so you don't have to buggerise around the Allen keys and that. Again, still can't find them anywhere, so it's just a matter of when they turn up. So there we go. So I'm going to cut all this business off, this stock now. Right, so I'll move this off. And you've got a couple of zippy tie holes on it. Right, there we go. That's him. She's all off. That's ready to roll now. So I'm going to buggerise around with the rifle, and I'm going to the first, obviously you've got to pull your original rifle apart, and that will just drop basically straight in there, bolt it down, and it will say here, torque these down, hold the action firmly up against the recoil lug, secure with included action screws tightened to 60 inch-pounds. So it's really tight because they're a really solid rifle. But we'll look at that when we put this thing on. All right, so let's get into it. All right, we're back. We've got the 308 up. He's upside down on the operating table. Right, take the old action screws out. Don't throw them away. Good to have spare action screws around. You just never know when you might need one. Okay, now we no longer need the action screws for this. You know, for the fitment of this stock. We don't need the floor plate, trigger guard, anything like that, or that. Come here. Magazine box. Don't need any of that. But don't chuck them away. You never know. All right, so we'll carefully lift this stock off. Come on. Oh, shit, yeah, be careful, that's the way. Look after your stuff. Okay. You can just sit in there for a while. Now, while we've got everything here, I'm going to turn the camera off again, and we'll give everything a good clean. We'll give the what's the name's a good clean. You know, the screw hole. We'll just put some acetone in and get all the old Loctite out and see too much. We'll just clean it all up, and we'll go from there. All right. Rightio, we're back. Stock's off. All cleaned up around the action. Everything removed that we don't want. This stock, a lot of people shit can these Hogo from older stocks or plastic stocks, whatever you want to call them. I don't mind them. As you can see, they all the barrels float, and they've got a nice they've got nice bedding pillars in them. So I think I can find something else to do with that. So I'm going to hang on to that. And if you want to go and buy one of these things from the shops in Indonesia, that'll cost you about $100. So I'm not going to throw $100 away. So, all right, we're at time to put this beast on now. Now we put a little bit of M-Lock on there, and it's a strange way it goes on. First time I've ever had anything to do with that, and not the easiest thing I've ever done, but we're there. So I'll get this stock on. We'll be back in a minute. Rightio, all done. Moment of truth. Stock upside down. Now we've got to get that recoil lug to go into there. Okay, that's the first job. And the thing I do like about these stocks, a lot of ventilation around them. You've got a lot of clearance for barrel and all that. And these stocks come in one size, so whether you've got a skinny barrel, fat barrel, they all fit. So this stock, for all intents and purposes, will hold the fat varmint barrel. You put the skinny sporter barrel on, you've got a million miles of clearance around it. So A, it's floated, and B, it's got a good airflow around it and all that. So hopefully, in theory, that should help the barrel cool a bit quicker. Okay, let's whack this beast on. Now these screws are way down in there. We'll let him bite up just a little bit. These action screws, incidentally, are the same length. So you don't have to worry about, you know, long one at the back, short one at the front, all that sort of thing. Now what I've got with these, I've got them to bite up snug, and I'm just going to unscrew them a bit, because what I see in all these videos, they like to engage the recoil lug by doing this. But that is a little bit loose, so I will actually tighten that up a bit more. They get them and they go. Give them a couple of bangs on the ground, that engages everything. So they say, and these blokes know, I mean, this is what they do. So we'll tighten that up to spec. We should be good to go. Actually, I'm going to have to give my finger on that because they are down deep. And here we go. Done and dusted. All right. There he is. Now the only thing we've got to do now is sort the hideout of the cheek riser. Now you have a look at that. Are you picking that up there? There's an absolute million. It looks a bit funny. But there's a million miles of clearance around that. That'd be, you put a fat barrel on that, absolutely no problems whatsoever. Right? And underneath you've got all that chassis ventilation, so you've got a big airflow round the barrel. So obviously it's floated. God, you could drive a truck under that, and you've got a big airflow around the barrel, so that in theory should help it cool a bit quicker. So let's see if we can drop this magazine in. Whoops, you sit up there, would be nice. 10-shot magazine, that should fit in, I'm hoping. There he is. Magazine release there. Tight. I'll do the other way around and see what happens. Oh yeah, you push it instead of pull it. I'm pulling it. So there we go. So your mag's in. I'll put him in backwards because he's upside down. That's right. He's in. Push it. Drops out like that. How easy is that? Now in there, that's a 10-shotter. He's in there. That's as solid as a rock. That's not coming out. He's out. There we go. So if you're in the magazine, you're having a second one forward, so you can do quick changes. That's all good. But, so I'm going to find the Allen key, and then I'm going to do this cheek riser, and we're done. All right, we're going to now adjust the cheek riser, so we can get a good look along the scope with a straight eye, remain parallel, and keep a good cheek well to the rifle, which is always the go, always handy for better shooting. So basically, it's these two little bolts here. You can see that's your plastic cheek riser. Two little posts there into the holes at the top of the stock. There they are down the bottom there. You just move him up and down till you get into a place where you want him to stop. Nip him up. And that's it. Now, as I stated earlier, you can get these knurled knobs for this, which will make this hell of a lot easier in the field to do. You've got to carry Allen keys or spanners or whatever in case you've got to move it around in the field for any reason. So I'll muck around now and get the height right for me, then we'll come back. Okay, we've mucked around with this a little bit, adjusted the cheek riser for me. Okay, now I like to have it adjusted two ways, so it's all good, so I can use it standing up. I'm straight on that. You've got to be able to pick that rifle up and go like that. The worst thing you can do, if you say if you've got like a normal sporter stock, which are usually pretty skinny, you put the rifle up and you've got to find the scope, and by the time you do that, whatever you're shooting at's gone. So, and that's good. And I can also use this on like a bench rest, and I've got that there, right under my cheekbone, and I'm absolutely clear on that, good as gold. You know, and that it also makes you keep your head up. You know, you start really pushing your head down onto it, you do get that shadow in the scope, but you don't want that. That just makes you keep your head up. You still got a good cheek weld, but some of these ones you finish it with your head just a bit off the rifle, and you don't get consistency. So that's really good. So more than happy with that. Length of pull is the only other thing you'll worry about with these stocks. Now that's measured by trigger finger on the trigger, guns unloaded and uncocked, trigger finger on the trigger, the recoil pad or butt, whatever you call it, is down in the crook of your arm and your elbow. And if that arm's at 90 degrees and that's close enough for me, that's fine. That's fine. If you're a long, tall, skinny person, or you're one of these people with go-go gadget arms that are 4,000 metres long, you can buy spacer kits for these, and these come with one spacer on them. And conversely, if you're a short person, you could probably take that spacer out and just bang that straight up against it, and I think you'd be fine with that. I really do. I'm happy with this. I didn't even notice this pistol grip on here is extremely comfortable. It's the same grip for obviously a left-handed stock and a right-handed stock, because it's got a nice fat palm swell either side, and that sits in your hand nicely. And there's a nice little divot there. That's the wrong word. You just put your thumb up against there when you shoot. So that's really nice. And when you do that, you go bang. You're not reaching for your bolt. You don't have to look for anything. Everything stays where it's supposed to stay. And I'm more than happy with this. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. And for good quick shooting, you're straight up. You're straight up with these pistol grip stocks. You're straight up with them, you know, and because you've got like a vertical to hold on for want of a better expression. So very happy. So I'm going to put this one to bed. I'm more than happy with all this. Where's my magazine? Oh, there he is. He's in there he goes. Boom, 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 boom. And magazine out. No problem. Absolutely no problems whatsoever. So I'm going to put this one to bed. The Oryx chassis. Absolutely happy with it. Can't fault it at all. Puts a little bit of extra weight onto the rifle, but that's not the end of the world. It's not a great deal of weight. Ergonomically, feels really good in your hands. Nice square forend, so it'll sit nicely on rests and bags and all that sort of thing. Like the rifles with the rounded forends tend to roll around. It's another thing you're fighting that you don't need to fight with these things. Nice and adjustable cheek rest, which means you can adjust to when you're different scopes you use, different ring heights. When I put a thermal or a night vision on, I might want a bit more height. Who knows? The other thing I've got to buy now is some of these little adjuster knobs for the cheek piece. Got to wait till they come in. Can't find them anywhere. And I think they are about $14, something like that. So it's not overly dear. Not overly dear at all. I can see myself buying more of these. I think they'll be particularly useful for the rifles I'm going to put thermals and night visions on and all that sort of business, because you can clamp these things hard into tripods and all that. I think these things are a really good thing, and these aren't going to disappear off the market anytime soon. So I give this the 2 clicks up, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. That's what I give it. Go and get yourself one. Most of the gun shops have got them. If they haven't got them, they can get them in, and they're around for most of your common, even some of your less common rifles. They even make them for rimfires. They even make them for rimfire rifles. So there we go. Let's put this one to bed. I'm going to sign this one off. Until next time, you can tell your wife, you can tell your girlfriend, you can tell them both. It doesn't matter to me. Just go 2 clicks up. See ya.